Jerry Swamp Dogg Williams is a musician who I think should be more mainstream. I chose this problem because this is something I take very seriously. This is of public concern because the world deserves to be blessed by his music, yet not many people have heard of him. Swamp Dogg's music has changed my life forever in the greatest way possible. The first time I listened to Swamp Dogg, I cried tears of joy, truly moved by sounds I could have never comprehended. His sound is an electrified gospel of truth, pain, and freedom, delivered with rawness that cuts deeper than most artists ever dare to go. Every note he sings, every lyric he lays down, pulses with a kind of brutal honesty that tears the veil of life itself. This isn't just the greatest music of all time, it's a spiritual awakening set to sound. Background and history on Swamp Dogg, according to the About section of the official Jerry Swamp Dogg Williams website written by Swamp Dogg. Swamp Dogg was born in 1942 and released his first record in 1954 under the name Little Jerry Williams at the age of 12. In the 50s and 60s, he was immersed in the world of soul, funk, and R&B. Somewhere along the way during this time, he traded in his birth name for Swamp Dogg. Under this new name, he sort of had an alter ego, so he could say whatever he wanted. Changing his name was an act of rebellion that allowed him to freely sing about sex, religion, politics, and everything. In the article, Swamp Dogg talks about his wide variety of music and the abundance of genres he has experimented with, allowing him to appeal to a wide variety of people. Swamp Dogg would go on to release a string of more than 24 albums, ranging from the radically subversive to the downright ridiculous, developing an underground following in the process that would make fans of everyone from DMX to John Prine. Swamp Dogg should really be more popular because these other famous musicians have enjoyed his work. TheBluegrassSituation.com gives info on some of the challenges Swamp Dogg has faced during his career. The article talks about Swamp's struggles in the 60s. He had his first hit, I'm the Lover Man, under the name Little Jerry Williams. This led to him being invited to play at clubs in the Midwest where crowds were lily white. They weren't terrible about it and would pay Swamp Dogg, but they wouldn't invite him to play another show because racism was still popular. Swamp Dogg was also dropped from Elektra Records in 1971 after the release of his Rat On album that featured his song God Bless America for What? The record label saw his songs as too political and controversial. After this, he changed his name to Swamp Dogg. I needed an alter ego because I wanted to say some things. I wanted to be able to talk about sex, religion, politics. I wanted to sing about everything. Swamp Dogg stays true to what he believes and isn't afraid to speak his mind. He doesn't care what other people think and will say anything. Special guests like Margot Price, Vernon Reid, Jenny Lewis, Justin Vernon, and the Cactus Blossoms all add to the excitement, but it's ultimately the 81-year-old Swamp Dogg's delivery, sly and playful and full of genuine joy and ache, that steals the show. Discussing his musical roots, Swamp lists blues, soul, R&B, pop, just about everything except classical and polka. And gotta add country there, cause country is what I was listening to growing up as a kid. He has so many genres, so he should have something for everyone. Swamp Dogg makes music that fits whatever genre he likes, no matter the genre. He just tries to make music that is meaningful to himself, so he is always delivering his absolute best work. 50% of songs on Spotify have less than 100 streams. This shows how most musicians don't make it anywhere and remain basically undiscovered. This tells us that it's really hard to become a successful musician. It's difficult to even become a growing artist. Swamp Dogg has made it into the category of growing artist in the 50s, but it hasn't really grown much since. He has seen ups and downs and has come very close to mainstream success. My theory is that his music is just too rancy and unserious to reach mainstream success, but after his 71 years of trying, he deserves it. Society is just too picky with music to appreciate the true masters of the art. Many people have appreciated Swamp's work, but the general population just doesn't know how to appreciate good music. The top 1% of artists earn 77% of recorded music income. Growing artists and struggling artists may find it hard to get the money to fund their music careers. It seems really hard for a growing artist to make the best music they can if money is a problem too. There are many like Swamp Dogg who aren't given the attention they deserve. Because they are smaller, people may think their music isn't as good, but this isn't true. It's totally possible that these artists make just as good, if not better, music than some superstars. So why isn't Swamp Dogg huge? After interviewing 2 people, I have made the conclusion about the popularity of music that explains why Swamp Dogg has not seen mainstream success. After interviewing Colton and Ivy, we have concluded that what makes music popular is blandness and catchiness. For music to be popular, it has to be catchy, but it can't be anything too crazy. It has to be a certain level of bland to appeal to a larger audience. Smaller artists can make better music than the larger ones because they try to make music that is more meaningful to themselves, but it may not be for everyone. This explains why Swamp Dogg's status in the music industry is the way it is, because he makes the greatest music of all time, but he makes songs that are just too controversial to see mainstream success. Hindsight bias: when reflecting on the past, you now have a different perspective on what happened than when it happened. In the past, people may not have seen Swamp Dogg for what he's worth. At the time, his music was different and new, and people may not have liked it as much for that. When I showed up, they found out I was black and the audience was lily white. They were good about it, and they paid me and said I didn't have to do a second show. Now, due to bias, people have changed their perspective on Swamp Dogg. Many articles reflect on his career and praise him for how he's changed music forever. He has grown as an artist over time, however, he is still not mainstream. Swamp Dogg should be everyone's favorite artist because he is the best musician there is. It's not a subjective opinion, it's just a fact that Swamp Dogg makes the best music. In conclusion, Swamp Dogg should be mainstream.